How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. So I'm glad you dropped by today. I always love it when you stop into the shop, eh? And today it's moving day. And what do I mean by moving day? Well, believe it or not, last spring, early spring, I brought out these attachments because, well, first of all, I was going to do some thorough maintenance on my snowblower. I did a little bit of work on the plow. I brought the box blade out, or the back blade I mean, because I was planning on grading off the lane and pulling some logs from down in over the bank here, because we have a lot of windfall in there, pulling those logs. I brought my chipper out, my Woodland Mills chipper, because when I was going to clean up down in the woods over the bank there, I was going to have lots of limbs and branches and whatnot to chip. The chipper hasn't even been on the tractor, so I never used that chipper yet. I never got my maintenance done on my snowblower. My back blade, I didn't get that put on the tractor because I didn't go down over the bank to cut any logs. So needless to say, I had great plans, but they didn't work out. So now it's moving day. I have to put all these attachments back. And where I put them is in the shelter out behind the shop. So let's go look back there and see what I have to do to get ready to put things back. I don't even know why I took them out, but anyway. Oh, here's another thing I want to show you before we go back there. We've been having some miserable weather here the last, I'm going to say, 3 weeks. It's been nothing but windy, cloudy, rainy, wet. A little bit of snow here and there, but not much. But now look at today. Check that out. Looks pretty nice, eh? Tell you what, I like it, but 3 years ago when we had trees all down the front there, all down on the left hand side here, front of the boathouse had a great big black spruce tree. It was 40 feet tall, beautiful tree, eh? But Fiona took care of all that, so now all I've got is barren and destruction. However, the lake looks nice. We planted some trees. My son Chris bought us some spruce trees, some black spruce trees. He bought 250 black spruce trees. And the middle part of September, they were just seedlings, eh? They were 6 inches tall. Middle part of September, we had the whole family out here, and we planted all down on the right hand side of the property and down on the left hand side property line, along the property lines. So, you know, another 40 years, she'll look good again. But yeah, out here behind the shop is an old temporary shelter that I had, and it was getting in pretty bad shape, so I replaced it with this temporary shelter. Is where I put the tractor, and that shelter is done for too. Look, I had to put a tarp on the top of that because the top just rotted right off it. But anyway, this one here is holding up excellent. I had to put a tarp on that, but that tarp's been on there for, well, I'm going to say over 5 years, probably closer to 10 years that tarp's been up there. Hard to believe, but it holds up good. And the framework on this shelter is just excellent. It's not thin wall like those other frames are. This framework in this shelter, like, that's good, heavy, not thin wall tubing. Not Schedule 40, that's for sure, but it's rugged. This is still the original roof. It was getting kind of ratty, so what I did was I put the tarp over top of it. But you can see, because of all the wind we've had this spring, it's kind of beat up, and this end wall has come off. I'm going to have to make some repairs on that. I'd like to make those repairs maybe today if I get a chance, but if I don't, it's okay, I'll get them another day. But anyhow, in the shelter here, this is where I store a lot of my utensils or my attachments. But there's a bunch of leaves in here. I want to rake those up and get rid of them. So I guess first things first, I'm going to move the gear out of here. Pretty easy to move the trailer. So now I'm just going to rake the leaves out. Here's another thing I like about this shelter. This post is kind of in my way right now. So that was easy, eh? So, I didn't think I was going to get all those leaves put in there, but I did. That's awesome. I'm going to try and start the tractor now. I haven't run my tractor since probably June. Put some glow plugs on to start. Even though it's not real cold, I like to put the glow plugs on. Okay, here we go. Can you even hear that? Man, that sounded worse than me when I wake up in the morning. So we're going to have to, I'm going to go get my my booster jumper charger box. See if I can first of all just start it with the jumper, with the booster. But if that doesn't work, we'll have to charge the battery. Remember the other, I think it was 2 winters ago, I put this modification on it where I brought my 2 cables from the battery right out here to the side so I can get access to either 12 volts to run something or 12 volts to jump. So that's going to be handy today. And then I have this little patch cable, and these jumpers, by the way, they're insulated, so chances of them coming together are minimal, but you still have to be cautious of that. Anyway, we'll slide that in there just like that, and then we'll connect the positive to the positive just like that, and then we'll connect the negative to the negative just like that. Engine start. Let's see. There is no joy in Mudville. So we're going to set this up on charge because she's just not doing it right now. And then we'll be back. So while the battery's charging, I figured to take that opportunity maybe just to tidy up this end wall here a little bit. That'll hold that, eh? Alright, so I've got the charger on here. It's on boost charge. It's been charging now for over an hour. So let's just see if this is going to work. Turn it off. Disconnect it. See what happens. A little bit of glow plug. Still nothing. You know what? I'm going to go get the Bronco, bring it over here, and I'm going to jump start it now, I guess. So I have my external connection here to the battery. It goes down through that lead. I've got my jumper cables connected here, and I have it connected directly on the battery. Okay, so I just started up the Bronco. We're going to try and start the tractor now. We're going to let that idle for a bit, put the Bronco away, put the jumper cables away, then we can start moving our attachments. I've been at this now for 2 hours. Man, oh man, a quick little job, eh? Turns into an all-day effort. So, the tractor's running now. I'm going to try and put some attachments away. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I have the box plate on the tractor now, so I'm going to back that in, and I'm going to put it on that bottom pallet. So that's where the box plate's going to go. And it gets awful dark in here when the tractor comes in, plus there's not much room. So I'm just going to drop that on there, and then we'll talk about what's next. So we got the box plate set in place there, that's good. So what I need to do now is I want to put the chipper in the shelter first, and then put the box plate in, or the back plate, but I have to move the back plate out of the way so I can get at the chipper. Now the plan is to bring the chipper and drop it right at the end of the roller and the sweeper. Drop it right in there. Let's see how we make out. Before I put the loader away, I need to take the forks off. Okay, now we're going to try and set the loader right in the corner there. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but the camera didn't record when I was parking the loader in here. But anyways, there it is tucked away in the corner. Nice there now for the rest of the winter. So I hooked up here pretty good. Because it's getting so dark, I'm not going to put the PTO shaft on yet. Let's get that another day. So I've got a few more buttoning up to do on the blade, but for now it's on there. It's getting dark, so I'm just going to put it in the shelter, and then another day when it's nice out, I'll come back and make sure that the lock is latched in place and that the lines are all sorted out and tied in good. Well, there, that was a big job. I'm glad that's over with. You know, I thought that was going to take me, you know, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Took me, well, the tractor was running for 2.9 hours. Yeah, anyways, glad I got her done. Got those attachments moved out of there before the snow flies, because they're supposed to snow tonight. And a little bit more buttoning up to do on the snowblower and on the blade, and the tractor will be ready to push snow. So that's great. I'm glad all that's done. Do you have the tractor shuffle take place every year? I call this moving day. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great week, folks. Don't forget, thumbs up me. And we'll talk to you soon.